In today's video, I go over PAILs and rails for wrist extension. A lot of us who are trying to do handstands want to do animal flow movements where we're on our forearms like this. We need to be able to have a certain amount of wrist extension so we can make sure that we don't have any closing angle pain or wrist discomfort. Making sure that you have the prerequisite to do the movement is key, especially from a joint standpoint. So the way this video works is just demonstrating how to run through that. What we're going to do is just set up in this quadruped position. Okay, you can have your toes extended or flexed down to the tops of your feet, doesn't matter. What you're going to do is you're going to find a comfortable stance. I really recommend separating the fingers as much as possible here and trying to straighten them out. Now, depending on your level of wrist flexibility, you're going to be able to sit back. Okay, for a lot of people, this is going to be enough. One thing I always recommend is don't let your shoulders collapse here. Think about pushing the shoulders away. Okay, and you're going to sit here in a stretch that you can maintain comfortably with good controlled breath work for 2 minutes. 2-minute passive stretch is crucial for PAILs and rails to make sure the tissues know what is about to happen and they're ready for it. So then what we do is, let's say we fast forward and our 2 minutes is done. We start by ramping up our PAILs contraction, which in this case is pushing the fingers into the floor. So we're basically ramping up the tissues that we're stretching. You ramp up for 10 seconds, gradually getting up to 100% max voluntary contraction or whatever feels safe for you. Once you reach 100%, you're going to hold that for 10 seconds. Now, it's not just your hands that we're ramping up, we're also thinking about making the core tight. So it would look like fill up the whole entire core and canister, exhale all your air out. As you pull that belly button in, drop the ribs down and back, and then sniff in a little air, and you should feel that the core is really filled up right now. And you begin your PAILs, and then your rails contraction, you reset your breath, and it's the opposite. So you're not going to see my fingers lift, but what I'm doing is I'm driving the palms into the floor, and I'm trying to pick my fingers up off the ground, and you should feel the muscles on the back side of the wrist really tensing up. Sometimes they might cramp, and if you were to lean forward, you could pick the fingers up off the floor like that. Hold that for 10 to 20 seconds, whatever your program says, and that is how you are going to create new working joint space. For how many reps you do, how long you're holding, it's all dependent on your assessment and what I have in your programming, but just know that is an excellent way to increase the joint space. One thing I do want to close off with saying is if we experience any closing angle pain, so when we're trying to stretch the open angle but we feel it here, or when we do our PAILs or our rails we feel this jamming sensation in the joint, stop the exercise immediately and maybe send me an email or talk to somebody who can help with how to work around that. Okay? We never want to train through pain. It'll just make the wrist even more tight and more scared of that range. Hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you next time.